podcast. We'll be sitting down with a fresh guest each week. Someone who shares the same kayak fishing passion that runs through our veins. We're talking kayak anglers, kayak companies, lure experts. Heck, anyone who's got a story to tell about landing the big ones from a kayak. We're setting our sights on becoming the #1 kayak fishing podcast in the world. You'll get a chuckle, a grin, and hey, maybe even a belly laugh. Because we believe in the power of humor. But above all, we're here to educate and inspire. So, whether you're a seasoned kayak angler or just dipping your toes into this exhilarating world, join us on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. It's time to reel in adventure, camaraderie, and the joy of the catch. Here's your host, Darren Wendell.
Hey, you fish freaks. Welcome to episode number 103 of the KFO show, Kayak Fishing Obsessed, your ultimate source for all things kayak fishing. And this show episode is actually brought to you by Dark Horse Tackle, delivering premium small batch baits from American small businesses right to your door. Check them out at darkhorsetackle.com. In fact, Seth, I got in the mail today.
Look
the
at
top
that.
water box.
Oh.
I'm going to bring out two things I'm excited about. We've actually talked about this earlier. We have the Brozalo.
I got one of those.
You do, the buzzbait. This is the Pro Elite, and I'm going to be pairing this with this guy right here, the Phenom Frog from Urban Fishing Outlaws. And so,
what did I tell you about top water? There's no use throwing it because you can't live scope top water. So
look at that.
No, I'm just kidding. Look at that. Yeah,
I like juicy.
That's a nice.
I want to like chew on it.
Has a little clank right now. Little clank on the bead or whatever as it turns.
I'll be sending this either early next week, some early morning buzzbait bite. Got a video coming out on it as well. So looking forward to that. But I wasn't here last week. You were leading the show. How'd it go?
Yeah, it's nice to see you here. I'm glad you can make your show this week. Let me know if you're going to be there next week or not. No, it was a good show. It was pretty informative. Hearing on the Bassmaster side of things and things in the future and what they have planned, it's pretty cool. There's some cool things for like the uber competitive people, potential for the elites, the kayak elites, quote unquote, down the road, maybe if attendance stays up. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Appreciate Chad too. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, Chad Hoover was on. We had Steve Owens on. And so if you haven't checked that one out, I actually get a little bit late getting that up on the audio version of the podcast. And so if you're wondering why that's like 5 days late, well, you'll find out tonight because I was goofing around in Vancouver Island with the aggressively average anglers, which we'll bring on the show right now. Paul, welcome to the show. Jeff, welcome to the show. How you guys doing? I know that came out of nowhere. That segue was fast.
Wow, I wasn't ready.
I know.
But now I am.
Saw you guys goofing around. You weren't even paying attention. Yeah.
I was just laughing at your commentary. It's amazing.
I don't.
It sounds familiar. Gotta love the commentary.
Oh, it's so good. How are you guys feeling after a week of hauling monsters out of the Pacific?
I mean, I'm kind of missing it, honestly. Yeah. I'm like not excited to go bass fishing this weekend. It's a bummer.
Ruined. He's ruined.
You're ruined for life?
Dude, Paul is too. Paul, right? Like
I've been ruined for a long time.
I'm broken.
There's a redfish on his hat.
I feel like we're talking about two different things, Paul.
Maybe not.
All
it
right.
could be both.
Oh no.
You got all kinds of comments over here. You got Be Honest from the Creek Crawler. Smallmouth or lingcod?
Lingcod.
Smallmouth.
Nope. I'm changing.
Going
Team Salt.
I got both species.
The Saltwater channel now.
He don't know what he's Paul's confused.
Where am I at?
Look, man, I think a year and a half ago in November, I went down. Guy was the best man at my wedding. Went down to his wedding, and he was on Cabezon Island in Florida. And we did a little saltwater excursion. We went fishing for sea trout, redfish, and snook. And honestly, if you catch a snook, it's like a super bass. It's like, I mean, literally, it's super bass. That's what it is. Just put an S on the chest. That's what you get. And then, there's sharks swimming everywhere. But then the nice thing is you get to eat all of them. I love to eat, and I like fish to eat. So it's like a double whammy for me. So it's honestly, it does ruin you. You get out there and you're like, wait, the fish are like 5 times bigger, and there seem to be way more of them. And
way more
there's
aggressive.
like, you don't take bait. you could take like 5 things, but like you just go catch your bait. And then you just go catch these freaking monsters. And it's like almost always sunny when it's happening. It's like, what are we doing here, guys? I love bass fishing, though. You're never going to get me away from smallmouth. Still the coolest fish on the planet.
I'm never going to quit smallmouth, but saltwater is sick.
The crazy thing about saltwater for me, and it's weird, I don't ever fish saltwater. I maybe went deep sea fishing. I've never done it out of a kayak before, so this is bizarre to me. But every time you throw a bait down, you literally have no clue what it is, right? Could be a lingcod, could be a halibut, could be a shark, could be a rockfish, could be one of the 17 varieties of rockfish. Who knows what you're bringing out from the deep? Who knows what color it's going to be? Could be red, could be black, could be orange, could be green, could be blue. It's a blue.
It could be red and blue and green.
It could be all of them.
Rainbow.
It's like pulling up rainbows from the bottom of the ocean. That's what I loved about it. And like, when I fish around here, it's like, okay, it's going to be green, or it's going to be black and silver. That's one of the two things it's going to be. It's either going to be small, medium, or large. But it was just fascinating to me. I was like, oh man, I have no clue. It feels
the
like...
locale.
Huh?
The location was like amazing. I mean, we have beautiful rivers and stuff, but gosh dang.
Like over here, you get to see squirrels. You're like, oh look, neato.
Oh, neat a squirrel.
Rabbit, raccoon.
A bald eagle charging a salmon out of the ocean and like being successful 80% of the time. Like, what?
This is
where we were fishing, folks. If you're watching this, if you're listening in, we're gonna have to kind of explain it to you. But it is wild. So we're fishing Vancouver Island, right? What you're seeing out in the distance is the open ocean, and what you're seeing is Kayak in this video pan, and then there's a ton of different inlands and inlets. And in these inlands and inlets, there's a ton of underwater structure. And if you have avionics, we'll get you in a little bit. Anytime you can find a pinnacle or some type of structure, there's the lodge, you're going to find fish. And so it literally was like, once you figured that out, it was really super easy fishing.
Yeah, it
right?
was.
And then
surprisingly.
And then you turned up the volume anytime the tide was coming in or the tide was going out. I mean, they just lost their ever-loving minds. The last morning, I know you guys had a killer morning as well. The last morning we went out for a half day. I would maybe in 2 hours. The guy I was fishing with, Chad, worked for Hookup Baits. We caught around 100 fish in 2 hours. We had over 20 double ups. They were just so freaking aggressive. And when we get back, I'm like, oh man, that was awesome. Only to hear that you guys come back. You're like, yeah, we had the same morning. So we were just ripping lips on lingcod around the corner.
That's right.
I mean,
we were probably a half mile from each other.
You say around the corner, but around the corner there is not around the corner here. Like freshwater around the corner is literally 100 yards. Around the corner there was 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Like we had Bixby's, so we're going like 3 miles an hour. So it takes time.
You were going 3?
Well,
I'm impressed.
I think we were going solid 3s pretty much the whole day. It didn't feel like it, but
in the Makana, I think we were. In the Shearwater was actually pretty fast with it. But
that was fast. I was a little jealous when whoever rode by me on that. I think it was Paul one day.
No, that was the Hydra. The Hydra is freaking speed.
He had the Hydra was the fastest. I had the Shearwater 2 days in a row, and then I had the Makana 2 days. Yeah. It was, dude, but like we caught Paul 2 of our best lingcod of the trip that morning. Yeah,
no question.
In a couple hours,
just every drop. Seriously,
we just wanted to. The goal that morning was go out and find them ourselves. So we went out on our own, just us two,
without Chad.
Shearwater, without Chad. We were like, we want to prove that we could do this without Chad.
We can fish without Chad.
Chad is the man. Chad is the absolute man,
Unreal.
And I'm sure we'll talk about his baits today because you fished with him the whole time. He's awesome.
Bro goes hard in the paint when it comes to fishing.
He freaking does.
I mean, I think I just recovered, and it's like 2 or 3 days later. Like I'm just now feeling my fingers again.
Yeah, and he's out there wearing jeans. I'm wearing comfy adventure. I'm like, what are you doing,
bro? His outfit. He's like, hookup hat, hookup sweater, no underwear, jeans,
no underwear, jeans.
Like, where'd that come from?
You weren't there that night?
No.
Oh,
what? He went to bed,
dude. Brother, you went to sleep and you missed this. We were hanging out, everybody's talking, right? And like out of the blue, he just goes, "No underwear, dog." He's like, for 20 years. For 20 years, I have not been where everybody's.
He's in the comment section right now, just laughing.
There he is.
Sorry, Chad. Didn't mean to out you on Wendell's podcast, but he's loud and proud about it. But like then I was thinking about like being uncomfortable fishing, and I was like, yo,
in
like,
jeans, bro.
It doesn't get more uncomfortable than no undies, going commando in jeans. Hookup baits, folks. There it is. If you're looking live right now.
Yeah. This one caught me the most fish the entire trip.
It looks like it's got some chomp marks in it. Is that like this chewed on?
Yeah. That is chewed up.
So how do you fish this? Is it like a tube type deal?
No. Think core tackle jig, like a forward-facing sonar, like a darting. It's got a real darting action, and when you jig it on a slack line and you let it hang for a second, it just goes nuts. It's like more like a hover rig type deal.
Okay.
And then on the bottom they kind of do this because all the weight's here. So it'll do like this, and then if you hop it like
super Ned
stuff. Yeah, it's the super. We were calling it the Ned. We were Ned rig fishing in the ocean.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I was like, we've prepared our whole lives for this.
We're ready.
If you ask, Chad's probably in the comment section loses his mind. It's like, you guys aren't doing it justice. Absolutely. If you ask him, like, it does everything. It cooks you dinner. It drives you to work and home.
It took me out for dinner though. It really did, and actually gave me a hug. It was awesome.
They got little ones. I'm gonna fish for bass with these. I told him, I was like,
yes,
rush those.
I asked him, hey, do you make green pumpkin? He's like, oh yeah, I make green pumpkin. Bass raft. Yep. Look forward to getting these out, hooking up some bass. It's a super Ned, 100%. We talked about this. Oh my gosh. Oh, really quick before we move on, that Sea Otter Lodge, like you could book it now. Really quick, it takes a minute to get there. It is out there.
Do a little math here. I'm gonna tell you how many minutes it takes.
I like it.
Give me a second. I gotta pull up my calculator. I'm gonna tell you how many
60
minutes.
times 6, Paul. That's how many hours. And that's just from Comox.
Yeah, it's around 400 minutes.
Yeah, that's from Comox. So then to get to Comox, you got to fly to Calgary probably, and then make a connection if you're lucky.
Yeah, share your good time adventures getting there.
Oh boy, we had a trip. So we boarded our first flight in Detroit at 4 p.m., 4:20 p.m.
All right.
And we flew to Calgary. And then the connecting flight was supposed to take off like 8:30. Then it got pushed to 10:30. Then it got put because of the G7 summit.
We're sitting in Chili's waiting for that connecting flight to go to Comox, which is like on Vancouver Island. And the manager's like, where y'all headed? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, we're going to blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
He's like, no, you're not.
We're like, why?
What? It says right there on the board. I'm going there. He's like, no, you're not, dude. He's like, G7 heads of state have been flying in all day. There's like 60 canceled flights, and they're just,
what does that mean?
It's all just a waiting game. We're like, okay, whatever, dude. The board says I'm leaving in an hour and a half.
Yeah, what do you know, Chili's guy?
Yeah, well, then
Chili's
Trump literally lands while we're sitting in the terminal.
Yep.
Oh, really? You saw Air Force One.
Choppers come through.
And it's
I don't know if it's Air Force One or Air Force One.
It was
one of the two. That all comes in. Everything shuts down. Yep. No one's going anywhere. Our flight goes boop, 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 and then all of a sudden we're looking at the thing, and it's like, you're gonna leave right now, and they're like, no, the pilots are on their way, half hour, and I'm like, it's a scam. They're just getting ready to cancel it. 25 minutes later, we'll have an update. 5 minutes. We're like, look at Jeff.
That's the breakup message.
And we're done. This is we need to talk. And then they're like, all right, it's canceled. Wait for the email. We walked down the thing. We were there till 1:30 in the morning.
That's exactly what it was.
Yak Attack was there till the whole night.
3 in the morning.
Oh, he didn't leave?
No, he stayed until 3 because the desk closed down at 1. And then they were like, we open again at, they were staring at us.
That's the worst.
He was like, we open at 3. So Wade stays. We go to our hotel. We get like several hours of sleep. We come back. Wade is still at the airport. He slept there. And then we're like, fingers crossed. Hopefully this next flight makes it. We unfortunately couldn't get a flight until later in the morning. There was no way that we could have made the boat ride that you guys got on. So we're like, whatever, let's just get to Comox. At least we're closer. Right. And Keith Stevenson, who put this whole trip together, who works with Kayak Angler Magazine, who is the legend. No myths here. He is the legend. So Keith puts the whole thing together. Keith had to do everything for this trip. Like I love that guy, and I feel so bad because he basically had to babysit everybody, made sure everybody made it. He hung out at the hotel in Comox, waited for us to land, comes picks us up from the airport. We stay at this hotel overnight. We leave like as early as we could in the morning. We load up his truck with all of our stuff, and it was us, and then also Austin Hoover, who traveled the longest. I think it was like 30 plus hours for Austin. He got stuck in Texas forever. So it's Wade, Paul, myself, and Austin. We hop into Keith's truck. We've got like 8 rods that got lost for Trevor, who was also on the trip, who is also the freaking man.
He is freaking man.
Trevor was,
the other legend.
Yeah,
he's here too. That's Fish Forage Off Road. Go check out his channel. Yeah,
homie can catch him, and he's an awesome dude, genuine human. So we luckily were able to get his rods before we left. They were at the airport. They got lost in the baggage. So I have all the rods in my lap, and they're like poking Wade in the face, like shooting backwards, and they kept moving when we were driving on the dirt road. I felt bad. And then we went on the drive you guys went on the gravel roads, but Keith drives like.
Yeah, you guys Tokyo drift.
Yeah, he was flying around blind turns and stuff to get there. And then we got on the boat and then we made it over. So yeah, it took us 24 hours to get there.
It's out there.
Yeah, it shouldn't have taken us that long. But
now here's the great thing is, okay, it takes a while to get there, right? Your cell phone service ends like 2 hours before you hit the logging road. And the logging road, if you're in the big van, takes about 1 hour and 45. You're with Keith, takes about 45, apparently.
Seconds.
Yeah, second.
Big van guy was like for a foot and then just lets off the gas. And we're like, what are you doing, bro? He literally would like floor it after you go
washboard
bump for
washboards, man.
One foot, and then he would lay off. And we're like,
listen,
never gonna get there.
Ed the van guy put up with a lot of stuff. So shout out to Ed.
No, man, don't give him.
And he brought us chips.
He could have driven faster.
He brought us ketchup flavored chips. His wife packed it for us. I know. I guess that's a Canadian thing. And then also, what are those crunchies called? Those like
those
basically
Cheetos
with
fake
sauce.
Cheetos.
The saltiest Cheetos I've ever tasted in my life, and everyone talks about it. If you ever had those before, they're amazing.
Everybody
So we get there. What's your first impression of Kayak and the Sea Otter Lodge when you first arrived? Because
I want to know you, because I've seen the video of us coming around the corner like 19 times already. So I want to know how you felt about it.
Yeah. You know what? I saw the video when I went in. I was like, you know what? It was just what went through my mind is like, what is it like to live here?
Right? Same.
Right? Because you guys don't understand, like, it's like a rock that somebody owns. And I was talking to the owners, which are the sweetest couple in the world. He used to do logging.
Susan, fantastic.
He used to do logging back in the day, and it is wild, man. They don't have any, like, I asked them, do you have to get, like, because they're building another cabin on the back property, backside of the island that you can walk around. And they're like, yeah, there's no regulations here. Like, we can build whatever we want whenever. We don't have to ask anybody. That is wild to me,
right?
But you're building on a rock,
and they also have to bring everything in on a barge. So they have a mini barge that they can bring stuff in on. But there's like a lot of stuff you can't get, like even fresh water, internet. Like those are like challenging things to get a hold of. And so like them piping in that water is like actually kind of a big deal. Not everybody has that, and so like when you think about it that way, and you're like, well, how does the electricity get out here? Well, they dug under the water and piped it in, right? It's just not the same. So if you want like that that rail that we walked up, the ramp that you're walking up, like they built that. Like all that's homemade. Like the staircase, like everything is homemade. Doors into the under crawl space area, all that's homemade. So you just get, if you want nails, you will buy 1 million nails. And those are the nails that you have until they're gone. Then you're done.
They had a sick dock setup too. Like the dock setup was like that U shape. We stacked all you guys have probably seen pictures on stories or the other guys that were there posting all the kayaks like just lined up on that. And it's a wood topped section. And then some of it was metal graded. So there's like a little more grip. And then on the wood section, you just push your kayak off, hop in, and it was amazing. But yeah, like, I couldn't stop taking pictures and video of the mountains and the trees and the wildlife there.
The old growth forest.
Dude, it was beautiful.
It was problematic because every time you brought your camera up, and I think I was with you, Paul, and we did this, we take it up and you're about to snap the picture and you look at your screen, you're like, dang it.
Trash.
It's not capturing.
You can't.
What my eye is capturing, and it's going to look poor.
Like, it's gonna look like a bunch of trees. It's not
so
gonna
you don't
like
actually
mountains
take it.
Majesty.
Yeah, it's majestic. And so you end up not taking the photo a lot of times. Like, this is not doing
justice. Just have to take your word for it, guys.
Take our word.
No, we got video. Don't do that. Go there. Book it and go there.
Go there.
Right there. Sea Otter Lodge. BC.
It's remote enough where like
.com.
if you want to go to town, like you want to go to town, it's like 2.5 hours.
There's a small town.
After you get on a 40-minute.
They have a
ride.
village, Paul. We never went there, but
I know.
They do.
But like if you're there's no Home Depot.
No, well,
like you're not going to Lowe's to get your like toilet.
You got trees, dog.
You're not doing that, bro. Like
you got tons of drift.
Do they do next day delivery for Amazon?
I don't even know if they
drone drops.
Probably. Knowing Amazon.
The drone would lose signal
that's
and
drone
just
drop,
crash.
It just run out of batteries and go psychotic, like the one that happened with us.
Oh, Wendell got attacked by a drone.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Oh, that was interesting.
Skynet moment. I was literally like, "What are we doing?
By
going to water?
the way,
What happens? What's happening?"
I just watched that clip. Like I was just running through video, and so you were behind me, and all I heard was you screaming. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I couldn't I didn't have my swivel seat. So I was like, what's happening? I don't know. And then I watched the video. And because we had forward facing or cameras that were on the front of the boat facing us, I saw everything. So you're swinging your net.
It's literally like,
he's like, get it. He's chasing this drone. And
then
they're
trying to get it because the memory card is in the drone. And so if you want to get that footage, even if the drone explodes or goes in the water, you can still get the card. And so it's more like get the card, but the card is on a electronic flying Bronco that's just going absolutely insane,
dude. And then it swings by you, swings wide around me, crashes into the water, and it was too far out for the net for me.
Just underplaying it. He was like, "Oh, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
I'll get that."
While he's jigging.
You guys are jerks. So I took the longest rod I had. I tried to draw it in. I actually tipped it a few times. I was trying to
pushed it down.
I pushed it down. I tried to get through the propellers and I couldn't. And then I was gonna net it, and as soon as I tipped it up, it went up on the water, and then it just went and it just shot to the bottom of the ocean.
So you basically had it. Cody, he basically had it, and then he let it fall to the bottom.
Cody,
you know how I know he didn't want to get it? He didn't throw any hookup baits because they would have caught it.
They would have caught it. They catch everything else down there.
Everything else would get you. I don't know why I wouldn't get your drone.
I had it reeled up to the tip of the rod, and I was like, I think I can hook it, and I tipped it, and I couldn't get it. So my bad.
It was it's one of those drones that.
Look at fish forage.
What did it say? VHF radios and drones.
It was because of the radio.
It was.
Yeah.
We all had VHFs on. There was probably 5 of us around there. The boat was coming up because it comes around every day and picks up our fish that we bonk in the head. We'll get to that in a moment. That is something that was unreal to me.
Who wants to get yak attacked?
We will get this. We'll get to this in a moment.
I'm sorry. Are we bonking right now? Are we doing this? Wait,
Paul, where you at?
You got to get your wrist set up. Going.
I got the good one. What are you guys talking about?
That's the original. That's the original fish.
I got the one that you need.
The OG.
The number of fish
my gosh
with a yak attack rod holder is unbelievable.
I mean, so it was pretty much a tie. I don't know.
It's a tie.
These are the same, right? Is it the same?
It's a tie.
I mean,
Seth,
one looks a little.
Do you have a bonker at your house anywhere? You live in Florida.
Not like those, man.
I know. All right, so let's back up. We'll get to the bonker really quick. But what happened? He has this. It's a Neo drone. It's a Neo drone, right? And so he flies it out and it just sits there. They're sitting on the boat. We handed them off for fish.
Yeah.
And hey, can you go grab that and grab it and you flip it over? Like, I'll go grab it. So I went to go grab it and it has one of those sensors on it. When you get closer to it, it just moves away a little bit further. Yeah. So I'm pedaling toward it and I was like, can I just net it? It's like, no, don't net it because it might ruin the propellers. And so I was like, okay. And then it starts going crazy. It starts skipping the water. And then it comes over to you, to Jeff. You touch it, you catch it, and then you throw it down the water. And we all know how that ends.
But it doesn't go high.
All right.
You would think like a drone would be like, I'm flying away from you.
It's Wendell's fault now.
Go up. It didn't do that. It stayed by our faces. It was like head height only.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It would have been way funnier if it just went into the sky forever.
I think he was trying to make it go up, obviously.
Yeah.
But definitely
wild
interesting.
Experience.
There's a lot of.
It's 6 miles out. We
were out
that
there.
Was 6 miles out on trip.
That was the longest trip we took.
And
we'll get to that in a moment too. But there's a lot of sponsors of the trip. Want to give them a shout out because they made the trip in a lot of different ways.
Skynet, telling you.
Wendell sold out.
What
is happening?
Did you say sponsors? Cut it down.
Drone from the grave. Turn his lights off.
Now I'm back. Are we there?
Yeah, you're here.
Skynet, man. I'm telling you what.
Get the bonker out. Take out that drone.
No, a lot of great sponsors made this happen. I know Keith did a lot of work getting, and I want to give them proper. So of course we got Gibbs Fishing, ton of different lures they provided for us. Did you guys get a chance? You got a chance?
We wrecked them on that spoon. Just on the spoon. Absolutely shredded on the giant ice fishing heavy spoon, the jigging spoon.
1 second, let me present the.
It was like a 3. I think we were throwing like a
3 ounce spoons.
Which one was it? Show me.
It's the bottom right. So the 6th one. The one I had, we had the chartreuse. That one. And then we had that one right there, the blue.
And then white chartreuse, and then a fire tiger, which is what I ended up catching on.
Tiger,
not that one. It was like gold
full
flash.
Chartreuse, like that's I think that 5th one maybe.
Kelly Green,
that one we caught a bunch on, and then
the second one.
Yeah, blue. That one. Just straight blue.
Hammered.
Yep.
And what were you catching on? Because they say it's good for salmon, trout, walleye, but you got like greenlings and stuff.
Oh no, the greenling. So the greenling females, I had not caught any females. I caught a ton of males. I caught like a dozen females that morning alone.
Savage. Couldn't take them off. So it's just a jigging spoon, right? You're just kind of going down, or you guys are like trolling a little bit with them?
I was actually we were jigging it, and I was just keeping it above anything. So I would get to where the bottom was. I would go up 2 reels up, and then I would just keep it off there. And then maybe once every, I didn't really have a chance to check. It would get bit like every time. But if I did not catch a fish, which is a rarity that morning, I would just basically just tap the bottom just to see how close I was in case it dropped a bunch, because I didn't have electronics.
Yeah. They got hung up a bunch. I lost about 6 of them that morning, but I did catch it.
Thank you very much. That was the reason they sent a metric ton of them with us. So appreciate that.
Literal. My bag was overweight when I came home because of hookup baits and spoons, and I was like,
"Was it for overweight?"
It was the bonker.
Oh, you guys want to know the cool thing that happened on the way home, though, is I went to pay for my bags online in the van on the way in.
Yeah.
And I got an error. And then I went to WestJet desk the next day, and I was like, hey, I paid this online for 4 bags, got an error. And they're like, okay. And they just ran it. I didn't pay for bags. Like, it didn't come out of my account.
Time anyways.
That was twice, too. I paid $55 for bags the whole time.
I will tell you this. 2 cheat codes. One is the check bag. Pay ahead. Don't let it go through. Tell them you paid. They won't care, and you won't pay. Happened twice. I'm living and dying by that one. So that's one. Number 2, if you want to sneak something out of the flight, just put a whole bunch of water in your water bottle. They won't check a single thing. Jeff went through. He had a full water bottle. And this was like no connecting flight, just full water bottle. He had the 10 amp hour Aqua battery that everybody got checked on. I got checked. Everyone checked. They're like, now I'm good at the math. I know the amperage, draw rate, and all that. We do all this rigmarole. We're begging and pleading to keep the batteries. Jeff never gets checked because they found the water bottle. They're like, we got you. We got you. We got your bus thing that you did. And they were like, the rest go through. Oh, I see that you have 16 knives and 48 grenades. Go ahead. Yeah, we don't care about that. The water's just get the water out of the bag.
Get the water out of there.
We're like, okay. And then when we leave, we had a connector in Calgary. So we go through security in Comox. I have no water in my water bottle. I fill it up there because I like to be hydrated when I'm on a flight. Yeah. And then we land in Calgary, and then they made us go through security again randomly. Awesome. And then the lady's like freaking out because they have water. I'm like, I don't have water because I was exhausted because we got up at 3 a.m. But then I remembered, you made me go through security for no reason. This is psychotic. But yes, I have water. Dump it out. They didn't check my battery. They obsessively checked Jeff's bag. Obsessively. Yep. So yeah, if you want to sneak in something,
the flight.
Just throw a little water in your water bottle.
A little diversion. Water diversion.
Yeah, because everyone only does one thing wrong. For sure.
Yeah, there's only ever one.
You can't do 2 things bad. Only one bad thing.
Who could do 2 things wrong? You can only remember one.
I get my Aqua. So if you don't own an Aqua battery pack, and so it's covered in like a camo or a black cover, but then it's waterproof. So when you take it out of that, which TSA always does, because like, what the crap is this? There it is. Can you open that with it? If you take the Velcro back, all it is a black rubberized.
Yep,
it's suspect.
I'm asking questions for it as well. So they're pulling it out, and he opens it up, and he's like, "What is this?"
Fair enough.
And I was like, "It's a battery pack for a fish finder." And he goes,
Likely, yeah, right.
battery pack for a fish finder.
It's an incendiary device.
No, then he's like, okay. He was looking for the amperage. It's not written on there at all, which we already have people reaching out to Nakwa. Hey, you got to freaking put that on your batteries. They're going to get
changes
stolen
coming soon.
Yeah, it's changes coming soon.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I was like, why did he take my word for it?
Why?
All of our words for
you
it.
seem really trustworthy. We all do.
I mean, look at this face. I don't even trust this face half the time, let alone
Wade went through
TSA.
the Yak Attack. He had 2 20s. So the limit is 10 amp hours on a 12 volt draw.
Yep.
Right? 120. So Wade has 20 amp hours on a 12 volt draw, double the legal limit.
Times
and,
2.
So times 2, he has 2 of them. And they
thermal runaway.
They check him, and he's just like, "Sir, I've had the flight from HE double hockey sticks. Please don't take these away from me. I need these." And the guy just goes, "This is Canada for you." The guy just goes, "I believe you. I can see it in your eyes.
You seem like a good guy,
You're being
buddy.
truthful." And then just lets him go. And I'm like, what are we doing here? This is America. They're like, would you like to be in solitary confinement or in Gen Pop? Where are we going to put you?
Do you guys go back through when they were that wasn't TSA, it was customs, and it went from like I had the nicest 5 days of my life to an abrupt awakening that I am speaking to an American customs agent. They were the rudest. Like
our guy was
an idiot.
He wasn't rude. He was very neutral. The only thing that happened is that he goes, "What do you have to claim?" And we're like, "Fish. We caught fish. It's in a box."
It's written on the piece of paper you're holding. And
it's right here. He grabs the supervisor and he goes, "Hey, we care about fish." the guy goes, "No." And he goes, "All right, you guys are good.
Water. We only care about water."
Is there water in the fish? They were going in the water. That's so much water.
Someone asked about Gibbs. It is gibbsfishing.ca. So if you want to head over there, gibbsfishing.ca.
Canadian tackle store. Canadian tackle store, you guys.
Ooh. All right. So no, if you're traveling with Nakwa,
be careful.
10 amp hour, and I don't know what you're going to do because it's not stamped on there anywhere. And so putting it on there is not going to make
bring it up on Amazon because it's very unique and it's pretty obvious what it is. Your best shot is to bring up the Nakwa website, and it has the voltage and the amp hours. You just multiply those together. 120 is the rate. So just do the math and then just show them what it is. And I can't promise you if the guy doesn't know what he's doing, you're screwed.
It's still a ridiculous concept, right? Because we're talking. I want to logically tell you what this is, and if it wasn't what it is, like everyone's going to tell you that. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, yes. I wouldn't have let it in. I'm like, what? This thing literally looks like a pack of C4, and like it's wrapped up.
That's the thing.
You don't open it because it's going to go thermal runaway. Yeah, I don't know.
But don't open it. Don't open it.
No, you're ruining it. It costs $100.
That was my favorite part. We go through this whole thing, and the guy's like, "I'm gonna open it." We're like, "Don't open it." And he's like, "Well, why not? Why shouldn't I?
Not a bomb.
Is it a
supervisor?
Don't open it. A bomb? Do you try to take a bomb on an airplane? Don't open it. Like,
no, don't open that." Dude, Wade was just like, please.
Wade is from Yak Attack. Everybody,
he's here.
Yeah. He's in the comment section. Yak Attack's actually in the comment section, which is Wade.
Yeah. He had a bad trip home too. They lost his bag. He had the mega overweighted bag. It was like 70 pounds, and it was all. He brought all the Yak Attack accessories for us to use on the trip, and then it got lost going home, but he got it back the next day.
Hey, there you go. Better than losing your fish, which was a whole nother weird thing. I've never kept fish before. And so Keith did a good job. He worked out with someone in Cayuga to like flash freeze it and all that fun stuff. And I've never brought fish back from anywhere before. So I feel like a boss walking through with a waxed cardboard box with a cooler with frozen fish inside of it. I'm just thinking, what if it gets lost? Like it's only going to last
2 days,
maybe 24 hours. And I have a 2-day trip home. But to be honest with you, I got home and opened up my cooler, and the outside ones were cold. The inside ones were still frozen.
Same.
Yeah.
Ours were like 85, 90% were like still rock solid frozen.
Yeah.
So
I was like, holy crap, this would have lasted for a while. And if I would have packed it full of fish, that thing would have been still, and I could have lasted for a few days. Oh, we got sorry, Paul. Yes, raising his hand.
Question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love when he does that.
I kept like 7,000 rock bass. I at least. Well, I know I kept 3 lingcod, and
7,000 would have been illegal, by the way. But yeah,
Yes,
you kept a lot.
But I also
Canada's
knew
call
You kept
you
the
soon.
appropriate amount.
everyone kept saying you kept 3 lingcod. I go, I kept asking, I'm like, that's not the possession limit. That's the daily
It
limit.
was
I was like
6.
very confident. And everyone's like, no. It was. The possession limit is 6. So I could have filled my bag like
We
3
could have
times.
had 3 more each.
And then same with some of the other species as well. So I know what I caught, and what I ended up with in my box was only lingcod, nothing else. And I was like, I had
like
4 other species
lingcod.
of fish in
Donation.
there.
Thank you for
My
your
God.
donation.
Well, yeah,
that's what
somebody
ended up
mailed like a
happening.
bandit, because I ended up with like maybe 15 pounds, 10 pounds, and I should have had a lot more than that.
And I didn't get any of my rockfish. So
I was like,
we got hacked.
what?
I
we
want
got
to go
some
look
lingcod.
now. Because I got home, literally threw the stuff in the freezer and went to bed.
No, I'm
I've
over
been
there. I'm
sleeping
like
for
scrutinizing.
48
Like,
hours.
that's not Jeff. That's Tina. What is going on? I named all these fish.
Made a
That's how
donation.
they get dinner. They just run through all your boxes in the evening. They're like, oh, we got lingcod tonight. We got rock bass.
probably the
There's a little
TSA.
venison in there.
Customs.
Like, ooh, little black bass.
Ooh,
Neato
yeah.
gang,
Some
take
rock
that
bass.
one. What are you
It
doing?
was the processor. It wasn't customs. Like, because
Oh, I got you.
we took our boxes with the labels on them, opened them up, combined them, and then reclosed them and all that stuff. And yeah, like when we opened Paul's box, I was like, "You suck!" Like you caught.
Yeah, I was like,
fish.
what is this?
We're all lifting the
Spartan
boxes up,
crap.
like, puffing our
I was like,
chest.
man.
Whose is heavier.
Yeah.
Much
Meanwhile,
better
they're
than
taking all my fish. Like, oh, Wendell gets 2, Jeff gets 4. Like,
Ah,
Is where it is, buddy.
gotta rob him.
yeah,
what's
none of you
one
guys
moment?
care. Oh, no big deal.
I split
love
mine
the-
with you. Whatever.
I love the HE double hockey stick. So now I don't have to go through and like put explicit content whenever I put. So thank you, Paul. Appreciate that.
Respect.
Jeff had a good laugh out of that as well. What's
I
the one
love
moment from the trip that's burned into your brain for a good, bad, better, salty, whatever it is? What do you got?
There's so many.
All right,
we
you get
could do a
one
good
for right
and a-
now. Paul raised his hand. So
I have 2. My favorite, though, by far, not close, was the breaching whale
Yep, I
10
knew it was
feet
that.
from my,
it's
my
right!
physical body.
I also watched that clip, Paul. Yeah,
you hear me
well,
yelling? Because I was screaming.
Everybody was yelling. Wendell was behind. Wendell was behind me. So I see myself and I see Wendell's reaction. We don't see the whale because the camera's facing us, unfortunately. And Paul was actually facing. He was in a position where I don't think he saw the whale on his camera either. We'll see when we scan his footage.
I know
But-
I didn't.
Just the reactions. Like Wendell was behind me, facing the other way, and like I'm facing Paul, and the whale was like right over here ish off camera. And everybody just goes, "What?" It was like the biggest reaction you could get on camera. Like Wendell's freaking out. He's like, "What is happening?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then
I
you hear
caught a
Paul
fish.
going, "Ah!"
I caught a fish, and so I have
Yep.
a fish in my kayak, and I'm
Yep.
fiddling with it to get it.
Fiddling.
I don't know if I'm dispatching. I don't remember, but all of a sudden we had seen the whales on
Yeah,
maybe
far away.
400 yards away,
Far away.
on the rock by the shoreline, and on one of the islands. And so, oh yeah, neato gang, cool. And then maybe 30 minutes later, we're all catching fish, doing things, having fun. And then I've got this fish, and I'm looking down, and all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, whoa! And I just look up because I'm a person, and literally it's a whaleback, and it's fully out of the water,
Yeah,
like
just
5
Water out the
feet,
blowhole.
6 feet
Yeah.
of blowhole and whale just going over, and I'm just like there's no, you cannot control that action. It's
Got the
it's so
explicit
close.
tag now.
It was now it's explicit.
you just
It was so
demonetized
close.
Wendell.
It was so
Dang it.
close.
Explicit. I gotta hit the explicit button.
37 minutes. in, You're out.
You can't do this to me.
It's literally so close. Like I could have, if I could have stood up and jumped, I could have landed on that.
You could have
whale.
landed
You
on it.
should have.
So
And then we
I
would
know.
have had a
I
trillion
know.
Viral.
views.
I know it's on me.
Idiot.
Didn't even catch it. Had
My
a
bad.
hook bait on. Didn't even try and catch it.
That
Yeah, it
was
went by and I
really
lit, and then the foal, maybe like 30 yards, 40 yards from, not even 30 yards, 20 yards from me. The foal comes out and does the
I
same
didn't know that.
exact thing.
Didn't even know
It was
that.
right behind me. It was nuts.
Huh.
I was
Because
right behind you.
We should have that on camera.
Well, it was like maybe 10 minutes later, and it was just like
Yeah.
that one. I probably do have on camera. Actually.
Nobody else noticed that one.
No.
But we all noticed the first one.
Yes.
That's insane. Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of mine, but I would say my moment was probably the first, like we went out the first night we got there, but it was like super cold, wet, rainy. Everything broke on my vibe because literally everything broke. The Bixby got jacked up, the rudder went out. Like I was I pedaled and then I was steering with a paddle. So I was pedaling and paddling, looking like a total doofus. And that was just because they were brand new kayaks and they had set it up.
We're breaking them in.
You were exactly like we were breaking them in. Stuff just needed to be tightened up. Whatever. I'm not gonna blame it on the vibe. It's just what happened.
Well, you put new cord on there, you stretch it out. It's
stuff just needed to be tightened down. So we fixed it the next day. Everything was great. It was awesome. But the first real day of fishing, which we're gonna make like a completely separate fishing video for because it was so good, and that was the day with the whale. My first fish was my second biggest lingcod of the trip, and I caught it on a hitchhiker. Yeah, first fish. Like just got out to the spot. We caught up with you guys.
Hitchhiker, that makes no sense.
I was getting to it. I was just commentating.
Explain it, Jeff, now.
If you don't mind. So a hitchhiker means you catch one fish and then you catch another fish because it eats that fish, right? So I caught a rockfish, and then on the way up, I'm assuming a lingcod snaps at it. And it's not on the hook, like it's just holding on to the fish. And I reel in the rockfish with a lingcod. I'm like, this feels really weird because it's like two fish doing different things. And then I just grab the net them both, pull them in. I'm like, I just caught a rockfish, but in reality, I caught a lingcod, and that was insane. Really cool moment. There's like some rare-ish catches, like you'll get into them if you fish long enough out there. So I just kind of lucked out, but like hitchhikers are really cool. And then blue lingcod,
the unicorn of the trip.
Who caught it?
No, Cabezon was the unicorn.
Cabezon ended up being the most rare, but yeah, like I think I don't know, seven or eight of us caught blue. I caught two blues on the trip.
The Cabezon was the. Oh, we didn't go around the horn for the first question. Seth, what was your
I was hoping you'd get
what was the trip that burned into your brain? Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to choose with all those
so many moments,
so many memories,
so many moments.
Times. As you can tell, I'm just sitting here, I'm just letting you guys speak first because I have all these memories. I'm just trying to figure out.
Still processing.
That's right. Yeah. So maybe next week I'll let you guys do yours this week.
There we go.
Yep.
My favorite memory when Wendell said I couldn't go. Dang
it. What are good friends for? The podcast must go on.
Yeah. Doing Darren's podcast for the host.
Man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really do.
What was yours, Darren?
Two of them. And of course, I mean, I'm there. I'm going freaking hard in the paint on fishing, and so I get there. I am up. I have met a few people that can go like sun up to sundown and enjoy it as much as I do. And I have people tell me I just can't keep up. It's like that's fine. I just love it and freaking out. But I met my match with Chad from Hookup Baits. His homie's like up all day, and we didn't come. We would leave in the morning at sunup. And we pack our lunch and we wouldn't come back until almost sundown. Like our meals would be saran wrapped, which I kind of feel bad about. But we were just out there. I just want to get out there and catch as many fish that I've never caught before in my entire life. And I figured I want to give myself the best chance of doing it. And so two memories. Second day, the whale day, we're out there in that honey spot next to the quote unquote buoy that never existed.
I saw 2 miles out. I just call that the 2 mile out spot.
Yeah, it was the worst buoy ever. It's like black and it's barely showing underwater. It's basically showing a rock pile. And so I hook onto this. It feels like a log, right? So it didn't feel like any of the rockfish. You can feel their head shake, and the lingcod will actually give you a head shake or two. This thing is just like I'm yanking up on it.
It's doing
it. It's doing nothing.
Yeah.
But what it is, it's a freaking Cabezon. So go look up, Seth. Can you look up Cabezon?
It's the stuff of nightmares.
Alien looking fish. Yeah. And so I'm pulling this thing up, and what they do apparently is they have these crazy big fins. And they just basically stick them out and open their mouth.
Like parachuting,
like the brakes, full
skydiving in reverse.
So you're pulling them, and they're slowly coming up because they're like,
no. It's like it's like trying to pull a kite,
an anchor
in a pool. Like it's insane.
Yeah. And then you get this thing up, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know they existed until that very moment when I pulled it out of the water.
I didn't know
which would made it so amazing. I'm like, what is this? And Paul, I think you said, it's a Cabezon. I'm like, what's that? Like, what's that? Awesome.
Did I do good? Say more.
I did it. It was. Then everyone's like, oh, that's a good size one. I was like, sweet. If I want to catch one, should be a big one.
Yeah.
And so that was fun. I only caught like 2 or 3 of those. But man, when you pulled them up, they just look like freaking aliens.
I will say, because of like how they behave in the water, I do have that clip where like we thought hung up for a while, and then Trevor's like, that's a fish. Like, you have a fish. So I had what I feel was a Cabezon, or if somehow I got lucky, a halibut, but I highly doubt it because I feel like guys were catching way further out.
Whoa! Down the tunnel. Oh my god!
Is it better now?
There it is. There's a Cabezon. It's like a blue Cabezon.
Yeah, the blue is interesting.
So you pull that thing up and you didn't know it existed, and next thing you know, it's next to your boat, and then it's flopping around the bottom of your boat.
It's like a Dorado and a lingcod combined.
That's the face I would have made at this fish. That guy.
Am I looking at?
What? Yeah, they're insane. So yeah, I had one. It dove into the rocks. So you got to get them off the rocks because they can like suction to the rocks.
Yeah. Those fins.
They go into cover. Yeah, those fins are insane. Like that's so. It's like that. The
everything
dinosaur it's the dinosaur from Jurassic Park that spits venom. That is what that is. Look at it. It like comes out from the gill plate. Yep,
it's wild,
insane.
So that was number 1. Number 2 fish
Love it.
is, and this is one of those scenarios where if I wouldn't have stayed out, I wouldn't have caught it. Because everyone's like, hey, we're gonna go in for dinner, and I'm just staying out there, and I'm next to Chad, and I'm fishing. Here's my strategy for the week. I've never done saltwater fishing before. I'm gonna follow the guy who has won multiple championships, world championships for kayak fishing saltwater and for boat.
Big brain
saltwater.
Move.
Yeah, and owns his own bait company for the last 10 years, or as part of it. So I'm just gonna follow. And the guy, one of the only guys who had Navionics next to Marty. It's like, I'm gonna follow that guy all day long. Where he casts, I'm gonna make the cast kind of like in the same vicinity because I know he's on top of rocks. And so we're out there, and the big group of you started going in for dinner. It's just Chad and I, and you guys are maybe only 100 yards away.
Oh yeah, we heard everything. We were like right in the channel. Like
he catches one. I throw down one of the biggest hooked up baits I can find, and I set the hook.
6 ounce.
And it's the things dreams are made of, right? You hit that thing, you think you got a rock, and then you start to feel the pull because it never moved. And I pull up, and I haven't found the footage yet.
I just sent you 5 pics of it.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah, you did.
You went back out with them. So you
right there.
on the water, and then you brought it in, and we saw it on the dock too.
It was a 37-inch lingcod, which trophies out there are like 40 inches, but that's the closest I got. So we caught those like literally at the same time,
and his
within
was blue.
Like 5 feet away from each other.
Yeah, and he had a big blue.
Chad's was blue.
Chad also caught a freaking giant while we were out with him too. I helped him net it. It was like I couldn't lift the net. So
if you want to see this thing up close, like look what the mouth looks like, just go to our the Aggressively Average Instagram page.
Vampire fangs.
I just posted a clip of like close up on what that thing looks like. The thing's throat has teeth,
which is like
teeth have teeth.
Throat, like back here, teeth. So you got to be careful where you grab them. I told Paul to lip it, he wouldn't lip it. It was ridiculous.
That's wild. Fuck,
come on, dude.
Real men.
What a coward.
A real man will lift it.
A real man will lose his hand.
So now back to these.
I actually have another favorite though, because this is big.
Put these back.
Big deal. I would do quick. I'll do it fast. There was the third day we were out when the weather was trash and it was just the wind was whipping. We were out in the tidal swells. This was right before, maybe 3 hours, awesome. 4 hours before you caught those.
I was about the bar. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. And I was in like the skinny, long kayak, like an ocean kayak type deal. And I was sitting like prone, like laid back almost, like prone kind of. Like my feet were laid out completely in front of me. You're not sitting up high, not in a sit on top, like barely. And really skinny kayak. And I'm out. I'm like looking around. The swells when the tide was coming in were like 6 to 8 feet. Yeah. And you would just, everything would be gone. You'd be in a trough and you were alone. And I remember being like, I had no net. I had no fish bonker. I didn't even have the Yakutech rod holder. And I'm like, that was the second most fish catching this day that I had. And I caught all the species that I would have caught, throughout the day or whatever, but I was doing it like in trash weather, those crazy swells, in like arguably the most uncomfortable kayak to be fishing out of the whole bunch. Like no one picked it. I'm the only one who like picked it. Trevor and I fished out of it. That was it. And it was like, I was super efficient, super effective. And I felt like I had it that day. And that was one of the, I'll probably never, that will be the thing I'll probably remember the most, is like almost being alone, even though everyone's like 60, 70 yards from me, and doing it with like no tools, no stuff, like on the ocean. That was like that kayak fishing experience where people are like, you're close to the fish, they're right there. I mean, like, you got to bring it into your lap. That vampire fish is going into your lap. That's the only place for it. It was nuts. Totally nuts.
So everybody got 2. So I think I get 2 now, right?
Sure.
Like all right, good. So my second one would have been the last day when we were out, Paul.
Oh.
And we were out on our own trying to figure it out. And we were just fishing off the rocks. And it was my last fish of the trip. My last catch was my biggest lingcod. And
Copperling.
It was the last 15 minutes we were out there. And I was just like, please let me get one more fish, because I did not want to leave on like, an hour,
15-minute drought,
or whatever. Yeah. I was like, no. We got to get one. We go out hot. We feel good. And like a couple minutes after that, he bit, and the fight was awesome. We were right on those rocks. You remember those rocks when we were coming in from the swells, Wendell? Like, on the outside of those rocks by the big water.
Yeah.
So like waves are crashing over them and stuff. It wasn't as bad as the day Paul was talking about, so it wasn't too scary. But like right next to him, and caught that lingcod. That was sick. Amazing.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy. That day actually made me seasick. I was a second. I actually told the boat, I am going to get sick. I'm going back to the lodge because I plan on sleeping the rest of the day. Because once you're seasick, you're kind of like stuck.
It's done. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Yep.
And so I'm going back, and Chad's like, no, we'll just go to the inlet, and so we'll see how you feel. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll go to the inlet. And then I caught back-to-back lingcods on the other side of that rock. The other side. Yeah. And I started feeling better again. It's crazy
weird.
What that dopamine thing will do. I feel amazing.
No.
Let's fish for our 10 hours. Oh my gosh. Seth, your favorite moment? Just kidding.
Yeah, again.
Moment number 2.
I have 5. Do you have a minute?
I know you guys each did 2, but I'm just going to let you have it. If you want a third, go for it. I don't want to take up the whole podcast, guys.
Seth's like watching
our thirds was
Wendell's
dinner,
updates.
I'm like in the chat right now. Just
137 comments over there. Anything that we should be answering?
Yeah, there was a lot of comments. This one was a good one.
Ooh, yeah.
Seth, calm down. Why are you talking so much? Oh my gosh. I just met you, freaking motorman.
Grab it by
the tongue, Seth.
Was a reference to one of my videos.
Classic.
Grab it by the tongue.
Grab it by the tongue.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was a good time, guys. I mean, you guys know.
Yeah.
So what are those baseball bats you guys are carrying around?
Woohoo! So these are actually gifts by Sea Outer Lodge. So we didn't know they were going to do this for us, but I guess this guy who West Coast Thumpers, you can see that right there. He makes these, and so they made them for everybody and came going to gift us. I feel like we should have given them the gift because they're I was like, incredible hospitality. And so as bass anglers, we don't sit there after we catch a fish. I mean, most of us practice, catch, photo, record, release, or just release. But out there, if you don't you catch one of these monsters and they got giant spines on their back, and I guess the rockfish, if they spine you good, Paul will know, it'll hurt for hours.
Yep.
And I guess you're supposed to rub the belly slime and rub it on it. It's supposed to make it feel better. I was like, that's a bunch
Trevor told me
voodoo going on over here. Saltwater fishermen, no clue what they're talking about.
Right,
rub the belly.
Is there
like, I bet he'll do it.
Yeah. So you got to kill the fish.
Yeah.
And so either bleed it out by ripping out his gills. It's pretty barbaric. Or you take a thumper, except none of us had thumpers. But we did have Yak Attack Pro Omega rod holders, which
they
created you have to give it a few more thumps, so it was a little bit more barbaric. However, did the trick.
It's a 3 thumper.
3 to 5.
We call it it is the Yak Attack. You have been Yak Attack.
You've been Yak Attack.
Yeah. So other people were using like water bottles. So I always knew when Trevor caught a fish. He was
Chad
from like 100 yards away. Bing!
Got one.
So many dented water bottles that trip. Weird.
So it'd really nice to have one of these because it would have been like one thump. You put it right between the eyes, and they kind of like they go dead. Because if you don't, you throw them under your seat, and then they will like spine you in your butt, and you don't want to be spined your butt. So you really got to get those things knocked. So it's like barbaric. Just I've never hit a fish like that before.
I do it all
It's
the
really
time.
Weird.
Ice
Do you?
fishing.
That's weird. All right.
Ice fishing. Yeah. I will say
fishing, I just take the bluegill.
Dude, the first day I didn't have anything to kill them with because I didn't know about the yak tag rod holder yet. So I actually just had to pierce your skull with pliers, which was
Never
also
works.
great.
Oh,
It worked. I got him.
It can work, but usually it doesn't. I've tried the Ikejime, like the American version, many times. I kill a lot of it many times. It usually doesn't work.
It is a challenge, but I will also say when you have a kayak that doesn't have a front hatch and you just got that little net under it, I stuffed all my lingcod under there the first day. So like half the video is just 3 lingcod up front, just like tails sticking out. It was sick.
I can't tell you the amount of blood that was at the bottom of my kayak.
So much
blood.
Brains and blood. Brains and row everywhere.
Brains and row. Paul's rap album.
Oh my gosh. So I wish I had this. Then again, I can't like use this. It's like gloss.
Too nice.
I think Yak Attack, I should make one just like this.
Yeah.
Just black, has like little thumper rods on it, like little nodes on it.
We told him, we said make it out of same plastic material, just make it heavy duty. We'd love
I'm
to have
300,000% using mine.
When you you guys are like Salt Life guys now.
Yeah, we're
Salt Life. I'm gonna go get a sticker tonight. Amazon it.
Hey, we earned that sticker. Half the guys with Salt Life stickers out there don't even touch saltwater. So I mean, at least we can say one time.
People get mad about the families. They're like, I don't care how many kids you have or dogs or whatever. Like, people like hate those stickers. I hate Salt Life stickers when I'm in Michigan because I'll see them and I'm like,
I did every time. I'm like, what is this guy talking about?
You would go there.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they're snowbirds and they go to Florida in the winter.
Don't actually care. Not good enough. If you really want this, like, what are you doing?
You say not good enough, but you want a Salt Life sticker because you went fishing on the salt.
But it's a joke, and I'm not. I went once. Do it. That's the difference. Like, you see how it's.
Okay. Sure. Can't wait to see your Salt Life sticker. It's gonna be great.
Funniest moment on the water. You have a funny moment.
A funny moment? There's too many funny moments. Oh my!
Which one comes to mind?
When I found out Chad doesn't wear underpants.
That was peak. That was peak.
I didn't know that until just now. So
pure comedy that day.
Well, you went to bed early because you wanted to get up early. We did both.
We stayed up late and we got up as early as possible.
Can't do it.
We hopped on the water like within 45 minutes to an hour of you every morning, but you were always off, and then we were like gathering stuff and getting.
I was gonna let Chad figure it out, and then we'll just meet you out there when.
We're like, you guys on them?
Talkie.
All right, we'll be there in a sec.
All right, where you at?
Much smarter than my.
We'll be there in 2 hours.
Let us know when you're.
I'll post it tomorrow. It was the video where we were way out. We were like 6 miles out, and we were kind of at that peak, like we were as far out as
where the drone went down.
And and
the drone was a funny moment.
Exactly. We were out there, and what happened? Like, Chad pulled up on a spot. Wendell's duct taped to his rudder, you know, right there, and then Jeff and Marty roll in, and I'm like way upstream, and I'm looking over. I'm like, there's literally a line of 5 of us with Chad at the top, and I'm like, that was the peak of like Chad just like mother duck, and like there's 9 of us like
we're a flying peak all day long.
We were just like, Chad, tell me where the fish are. He's like, probably here. And we're like, cool.
Roll up on
all right,
Chad.
They're done. We got them all. Chad, what are you doing? Find the next spot. And it was
follow Chad.
Just constant.
I got some rapid fires for you. One, the big boat, the mothership, pulls up right in front of Paul when he's fishing a spot, cuts him off fishing a spot,
and I go, You guys ever bass boat? You got the whole effing ocean.
The whole
right there.
Hilarious.
And there was shoreline there too. So it's not like they had a place to go. It was like 25 feet. And they're like, how about here? This is good.
This seems good. Another one was, speaking of the whole ocean, I hooked 3 people's lines multiple times. Wendell was one. I hooked Chad's line once. Hilarious.
Well, you guys are all like, where did Chad cast?
Well, yeah, we were casting on top of each other pretty much. But like of the whole ocean,
the rock formations weren't that large underneath the water, like the pinnacles.
They weren't.
So if you weren't on it, you're like 10, 15 feet up, you weren't catching a fish.
It didn't work.
And Chad would hit it, and it would go. He'd be like, all right, I'm on bottom. It would be like 10 seconds.
And then he
5
would catch
seconds.
the fish.
And then you'd still be watching your reel go down. You're like, I may have missed it.
He'd be like, boom, got it.
130 feet later, there's a
Yeah.
bomb.
The next one was when Marty thought he caught a salmon for 4 hours. Marty's telling this story. Marty's in chat.
Kayak Jack, by the way, if you guys follow him.
Kayak Jack, go check him out.
Died.
So Marty's in the middle of telling us this story. We hear it for the first time. He's been talking about it for a little while, and he's like, "Yes, I had the salmon. It bit. I lost
but it
him.
got off."
And then Chad goes, "Marty, that was me. I had your line," and like he did the salmon run. He was like, "Got him." He held on to that info for 4 hours.
Yeah,
and then
way
he tells
longer than
Marty,
that. Way longer than that. It was
Savage.
like it was a whole US day. Like it happened in the morning. It happened in the morning, and he literally was like, he told nobody that he did this. And Marty's told this story
17 times.
Like,
Yeah.
I had a salmon. Oh, I had one. and then like the whole day later, he's like, Marty, that was me. Yeah, I was messing with you. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry,
Marty
buddy.
was like
just like,
savage.
Marty is
does that.
No.
crestfallen.
What has happened?
I thought I had one. So that was amazing. Way to go, Chad. Sorry, Marty. And then when we were out 6 miles out, and we kept getting like just wrecked by rockfish because they would hit. We call them the bluegill. Basically, they're the bluegill.
The Stathams.
Oh yeah, they're the rock bass. But I feel like my
everyone
hookup
was
ratio
calling them actually rock bass.
They're essentially rock bass, right? Like they're aggressive, they hit it, but they're really good at like hitting the hook, and you feel that, but they're hitting the tail. So like hook point here, tail here, and you would feel that, right? And you're like, oh, I got him. And then you wouldn't. So everybody's going fish on when you get a fish, right? And I'd be like, fish off. And like halfway through, I was like, off, fish off. And then it'd be like on, off, on, off. And we had multiple moments where we were like, fish on, fish off. And Wendell, you did this too. It was like,
I posted it today.
7th try, 8th try, and you would catch them on the 9th try. And it was just, they just keep going.
They're so dumb. They're so aggressive.
It happened with a lot of fish, though. It wasn't just the rockfish. It was like
the bombers were the most aggressive.
Bombers were
when they hit it, the line would sweep. That was
Yep.
the only time. Because I think when those lingcod get it, they must do something more similar to like what a bass does, where they're like slurping it up and they just like grab it and then they're just like. But those bombers would just go on.
Yeah. And they were the only fish that would hit like mid column or the top of the column. They'd follow it
like
up
on the way,
or on the drop,
on the way down or the way up. Everything else was like stuck to the bottom. The bombers were the only ones that were like everywhere. Like they'd follow your lure all the way to the top and bust it at the surface. It was wild.
I started like reeling and pausing to get them. I would be like reel, pause, and then like you'd get hit sometimes. It was sick. But other than that, there was 1,000 other funny moments that we'll probably find on camera. But we just had a blast. Chad mentioned like we're out there just like
footage?
Forever.
A couple days.
Like I ran my GoPro for like 11 to 13 days. So we're gonna start. We got to use the hindsight feature or something instead. Paul started using it towards the end, but I'm gonna sprint through that footage and just find like any funny moments and catches that I possibly can. So we planned what, Paul? We're like in a week we're gonna start dropping those on our channel. Yeah, totally. Next Friday.
I got one going out Thursday. I did the bomber video the last day. I just did it.
That was the easy one.
Yeah, the uncut because they're hitting so much. It was a lot of fun. So that one will be going live on Thursday from me, and then I'll probably make 2 other videos. I'll combine a couple days together. But you're right. I haven't had a chance to even look at that footage. And like you, Jeff, I run it all the way through. Yeah, I don't do the hindsight feature, and the reason I don't do it, and I probably need to because
what's a hindsight feature for us?
It rolls for basically it just keeps rolling, but it doesn't save to the memory card, and you can set it for 15 seconds or 30 seconds, and it's like not recording, but as soon as you say GoPro start recording, it'll pick up the previous 15 or 30 seconds. So like,
I caught a fish. GoPro start recording, and now you have the 10 seconds before the fish into the fish fight, and then it's recording until you stop it.
That's like. Yeah,
it's a clutch
AF.
And then you just say GoPro stop recording, and you don't like get all the extra stuff. But like sometimes you miss out on things if you don't remember to hit record, or there's like a funny moment
or whale
like
or something.
And I don't say
Do
you get the words start recording in your videos then? 15
you pick that up and you just have to edit
unless you have a remote.
Which we're thinking about testing the waterproof GoPro remote. So we'll see. Nice. Report back later if it works.
That's kind of cool.
It doesn't take me that long now to like zoom through and see if I have a fish and then cut it out.
The problem is if your computer doesn't load the audio fast enough, that's how I find the fish. In a bass fishing day, it's not so bad. It's only like 6-8 hours, and I know where all the fish are. I know where pretty much everyone is, right? I know. I just have the memory. But like in a day like that, you got 4 days of footage. It's anywhere from 10 to 15 hours of footage. That's like 15 or 20 clips, and you're like, they're all 30 minutes long, and you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And if the audio doesn't load fast enough, it's just like a slog.
Yep.
Plus you fill up your cards. Like, if you brought 4 256s, you were running out, you were dead at the end.
That's what that Amazon next day delivery up there.
I dropped them on the dam that Cody had every night. That's how I unloaded my cards.
I had footage of me peeing. Dude, no.
I wasn't giving that to Cody.
Him the clip. They'll get him in a
got it. You got it all.
Yeah. I mean, we got the good stuff, the X-rated stuff, whatever you want.
None of it's actually good, but I have all of it.
Yeah, I got it all. No one's going through all 50 hours of my footage either, so I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah. I haven't given him anything yet. Cody, it's coming soon. I'll upload it when I get the good stuff.
Coming soon. All right, so any like lessons that you're taking back?
Yeah, Marty's screaming at a DJI.
Oh my gosh.
that was going to be my fifth funny moment. He has a DJI and he always yells at it and he calls it a GoPro. So
but it's funny because he does this. He goes, GoPro start recording. And then the GoPro's like,
what?
And then he's like, GoPro start recording. And the GoPro's like,
come again?
And then he's like, GoPro start recording. And then it's like, What do you want me to do? And he's like, go, bro. He sounds like a Cabezon. Go or start recording. And then it's like, okay, beep, beep, beep. And now it's going. And it's, the whole, like,
we love you, Marty.
And then right after that, GoPro start recording. Because he's got it stopped. He wants to save the clip. So it's at the end of the clip. And he starts it again right after. So then that whole cycle repeats itself all over again.
And it's like peaceful, and the eagles are coming down. And it's like,
it gets better because we're all out there. We're clustered, right? And we all have the voice command feature on. So when Marty would say that,
everybody's
camera would go off, and I'd be like, "Bro!" And then he does a picture. So he turns to his back cam and he goes, "GoPro, take a picture."
And everyone else is like,
my burst footage goes off. So like I get a burst camera shot of me just going like this. I'm like, Marty.
What? Marty is in chat. It's Kayak Jack. Go follow him. He does a great job. He's writing for everyone. He's been doing this longer than all of us combined. Go follow Marty. He's a great guy.
100%. He's a great dude. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Like
all at Marty's expense. I'm sorry, but
all at Marty's expense. Good stuff.
It wouldn't have been the same without you screaming at your camera.
He's laughing in the comments, by the way, for those listening into this after the live. So we're a big happy family now.
He's on board. Also, Marty and I are buddies because both of our Nakwa USB-C attachment they blew up like literally fried.
What?
It was absurd. The USB-C
the power converter.
Yeah, it's so you take your Nakwa 10 amp battery. That's what we use for a camera setup, and then it goes to a USB-C converter.
The regulator.
I have one.
Yeah, well,
so did I. Mine
melted.
Mine was fine.
Yeah, so Paul's lasted. Mine fried on the water, and I had to like find a new solution while we were out there. We figured it out, and his fried while we were like at the lodge.
Any clue? Any reason why you think
we
that
asked?
I talked to Nakwa, and unless Marty has a different one, because he actually heat shrunk his too, so his was like super water protected. They said, I don't know if it's salt or whatever, but it could be like the USB-C cable that you used. We haven't had that happen a lot. I don't know. So I don't know. I was talking to Bill at Nakwa. I'm getting a new regulator from him, so he's gonna do the right thing. But I did order like a crazy waterproof USB-C to USB-C cable. So we're going to try that. And then I'm going to heat shrink it and see if that never happens again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wild times.
Who do you think earned the most aggressively average award of the trip?
Out of us two or everybody?
Everybody. You get to give away that award.
We get to give away that award?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh dang. I feel like that's mean. Like we're happy to be
call
mean about ourselves.
That. What do you mean it's mean?
Yeah, that's called self-deprecation.
It's
totally
an
fine.
honor. It's an honor.
I don't make fun of my friends unless it's Paul. Like I'll make fun of Paul, I'll make fun of myself, and that's it. Yeah. Who was aggressively average, Paul? You give out the award.
Oh yeah, great.
You've been bad. You've been bad guy.
Thanks for nothing.
I think honestly, I think everybody hammered it. Everybody got after it. Everybody was out there all freaking day. I mean, you and Chad were out there the most, Wendell, for sure.
But I respect people that went in because people were like giving props to the lodge for dinner. The dinners were insane.
Amazing.
Like, it was like, which loss do you want to take? That's what it was.
Right?
Like if you stayed out, you were missing the most gourmet experience you will have all year. And it's not going to be close. We're talking about like prime rib with moose gravy. We're talking about like fried lingcod.
That's what it was.
That's what you missed, bro.
Don't even
moose. Listen, I know it's down
too, my fan.
They would make you a whole cake just for funsies. They were like, you're hungry? Let me make you a peanut butter cheesecake with Oreo crumble crust. Do you want raspberry sauce? They were just dishing them out. It was nuts.
And like the night, Paul, you were with Wendell and Chad, you missed out on the
fish
fresh
fry. I know.
Food. We had lingcod, we had red snapper. I ate all the oysters because nobody wanted them.
I'm aware.
So I was like,
I got none.
Mine. I saved you dinner the next day for the fish fry.
I got something.
No. Well, yeah, you guys got some of it, but I don't think much of the fish were left because we annihilated them. But who was aggressively average? I don't know, man. Like I feel like everybody.
No, I mean, really, everyone was phenomenal, and I will say, Trevor's one of the nicest guys out.
For sure,
on the planet. Like,
what he was working his butt off.
He was working
on a trip of a lifetime.
And Matt Charette was in here. I don't know if it's Charette. I'm assuming that's like a French deal. But he was in here too, and that guy's awesome. Amazing footage, and also working his freaking tail off, and just super nice guy. And was helping everybody out with the vibe kayaks. Chad was a champ because we were literally raining our baits around his kayak all day. He had someone in
put up with it
in his kayak all day, and everyone was just like, and he was just like, I'm just glad you guys catching on my baits. I hope you have a great time.
Floating.
Let me show you where the next fish is. You're welcome.
Hey, Chad, you got another one in this color? Hey, Chad, you got a leader line? Hey, Chad.
Oh, nonstop.
Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad.
And then give me another sign. What are you catching on? He's like, here's 5 of them. And then he just called it out in chat. Marty was trying to be a nice guy. We're 6 stinking miles out, and he only brought 1 battery that day. And you need 2 for a normal day, and we all needed 2. And dude, honestly, Marty paddled his freaking butt off. I gave him my battery when I knew we were gonna make it back. I had some left, and I wanted to be like, if it's an emergency and this wind keeps up, because the wind was howling, like it was blowing. Marty was a chief. He freaking he pedaled because his batteries died. Paddled all the way back like a monster. So good call, Chad, because that was a feat. Go, Marty.
Yeah, I think everybody just put the hammer down. I don't think anybody was aggressively average on this one. Not even us.
I like it.
Mostly just aggressive.
But we were all aggressive. Nobody was average. For a bunch of guys, majority of us having no salt experience whatsoever, getting out there, catching them, whether it's with Chad or sometimes by ourselves, I think everybody kicked butt.
So what was it like spending the week with, Hookup was there, Yak Attack was there, Bixby owner was there.
Human.
You had
Human
and
Martine. Martine is another great dude.
He was a sleeper. He was a sleeper because he was everywhere. When we were like, oh, how are we gonna get these, fish boxes packed up? He's like, don't be dumb. Let me show you. He was everywhere.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, Darren. To follow up on your question, what was it like?
It took me a second.
Oh, yeah, still there. Oh, hey, buddy.
I'm here. Just
Wendell, who is this?
Everybody listening to the audio podcast, who the crap is that?
There's 4 people.
Who's in the podcast?
Wait. Yeah, everyone listening in is so
glad you asked.
Yeah, I wasn't there. So if you haven't gathered that yet in the last hour, I did not go. So it was all these things.
Seth
sorry to interject in your
hosted the KFO show. No, that was actually timed well. I don't even know what we're talking about. Where are we at?
Well, we were talking about all the folks.
Oh yeah, Vibe, Yak Attack, Bixby guys, Marty.
Yeah, Vibe guys were out there. So they had with Jeff Jones was doing footage for them. They had Matt, they had Cody, who's their marketing VP, and like they supplied the yaks. They left 6 Macanas there, which was awesome. So the lodge is supplied. If you go to the lodge, if you stay there, you got the Macanas, and we use them on like the big water days, like on all the days. Like they handle pretty dang well. You're gonna have a good time. Well, obviously Keith, you gotta call out Keith, who put the whole thing together, Kayak Angler Mag. Like this was his brainchild 9 months ago, and he worked his tail off to get it done, constantly calling everybody and making sure we had everything that we needed. He did not get to fish, and I feel the absolute worst.
It's still killing me. I don't. It's killing me.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had Wade from Yak Attack. Austin Hoover was there. Austin, I don't know if Austin fished that much.
He did.
Honestly.
He fished 3 times, I think, for maybe an hour
or
two, but mostly on the boat. He did take
caught him
once. He caught,
Yeah, he caught him. He got on some fish for sure. Who are now I'm going to be like, who are we missing?
Well, there's Cool Jeff.
Yeah, Marty.
Cooler Jeff. Funny Jeff. That was another funny moment. Jeff, who doesn't talk that much. Like Jeff
No
Jones.
words at all.
He's sitting in a chair, just hanging out. We're all in the lodge the first night, like just hanging out. And he just speaks up, says something, tells a hilarious story. I don't know if he wants me to tell it right now, but tells a story. And Paul's like, I like this Jeff. He's funny. And I was like, what are we talking about here? Like, are you trading up? We trading up? What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I am. Swapping Jeffs.
Swapping Jeffs. You're out. He's in. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, did we miss anybody?
Cody.
Wendell?
That was it. No, it was really cool because
anybody we missed, Seth?
No, yeah,
me. You missed me. That's what you did.
Yes, me.
So it was really neat because it wasn't just like the owners of the lodge. Like they hired staff to come in, right? They're like 3 or 4 other people there at any given time. They're making meals and prepping meals and getting lunches ready. It was amazing. So thank you so much. I don't know what that weird comment is. It just
Darren, that's what I couldn't get. It was
it's a kick comment.
I can't read it.
I'll figure that out.
I had a few of those last week, and I went and shared it with everyone.
For anyone listening, like I'm a verified streamer with lots of followers. Like
what is
it's
a kick comment?
Go away.
Kick is like another platform that I connected this to. Since StreamYard connected it to. I don't know. We're way off topic here. I'll bring us back. Reeled it back in. Would you go back? If so, what would you do differently next time, Jeff?
I would absolutely go back. If that was like an annual trip, that would be really cool. Annual every other year. If I could go more, I would. It's just very far away. It takes an entire week plus out of my life. It's like, what was it? Well, no, Sunday to Sunday. Yeah, it was like 7 days. I would definitely do it again. What would I do differently? I mean, I don't know, maybe learn more about saltwater fishing and like actually do any research whatsoever. I did nothing before I got there. I would bring not just one reel that could spool up enough line, maybe 2. And then I might consider, because Paul had the Daiwa Ardito, which was like a fantastic rod for this trip. I might get like a travel rod that actually works, so I could have my own rod, my own reels, my own line, and not feel bad about taking everybody else's stuff. I would consider a bait caster, which I did not bring for this trip. There's the Daiwa Ardito. The Ardito! I would bring a bait caster because there was the opportunity to catch on topwater in the kelp for the black bass. That would have been the bombers. Like that would have been freaking awesome. I don't know. Nobody really tried it, but like
we didn't do kelp beds, but we used trout rods that last day when we caught those 100.
Were you catching off of kelp beds?
No, not off kelp. We're catching them up. We used later rods, which made it feel like twice.
You were using like these ones or like a little bit
like those right there. Yep.
Yeah. I saw you guys. Yep. So like I would do that. And then I would throw the bait caster setup for sure. So but I mean, other than that, I feel like Paul and I were pretty dang prepared. Like
I don't know. One thing I would definitely do is I would be now granted it probably just the weather was the biggest thing. I would absolutely be going for some other species the next time I go. Like we didn't even really target halibut or salmon. And if we had been like a week later, apparently 5 days later, it would have been like salmon time because they were catching them like crazy right after we left. I don't feel bad about it at all.
People did troll and they didn't like get.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But
like it's just the weather. But like if I went again, I would be looking to do that a lot more. I catching a halibut would have been insane. Was a big like not a bummer, but like I was kind of like, oh man, that would have been sick. Yeah. And then I also would pack way less. Like I packed a bunch of clothes. I was like, I just never really needed. I had like some gear I really didn't need. Like I would pack more like I pack for my cottage when it's just like, look, I'm gonna wear 2 pairs of underwear. You get what you get.
For anybody going there, no underwear at all.
No underwear at all. Just like Chad.
Yeah.
Why would you waste that room in your bag? But yeah, they did have a washer and dryer, so like you could go for a week and like take 2 pairs of clothes.
Like how many shirts did I really need? 1.
I know I brought too many, and then like Keith was handing out Gibbs apparel, and I was like, oh, I didn't need to bring anything. Apparently, shoot, they didn't have Gibbs underwear, but that didn't matter, Chad. But yeah, I mean, I would have definitely gone after different species. And then somebody asked like, what topwater would you throw? They were literally saying throw frogs on top
on the pellet.
Mm-hmm. So I would bring a couple frogs and a baitcaster setup for that purpose. And then that baitcaster setup could double for, just using a baitcaster out there with the other tackle we're using. So I would try different things.
There you go.
What about you, Wendell?
I gotta like preface this. I don't know if I'd do it again, and it's not because the place wasn't freaking awesome. It wasn't because they weren't hospitable, and it wasn't because I didn't catch some of the biggest fish or the biggest species of my entire life. I just don't like doing the same thing twice.
Sure. That's totally
so that's just a thing for me because I know like I would want to go to Vancouver Island again, but I want to go north. I want to go to different time. I want to go south.
Different spot.
Yeah, or go to Northern Cal or just go someplace different.
Same type of thing though. You would do the same type of thing.
I do.
The other lodges in Florida, you'd go down there.
100% adventure fishing.
Yep.
And if I'm recommending places, I mean, I've been there. The place is gorgeous. I mean, we're getting ready to throw out a ton of content. I've already thrown a ton of content out with shorts, videos, and just the scenery alone is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. I guess there's bears on some of the islands. You pick any rock that you pick up around, like a million crabs running all over the place. I think at one morning I went out and there are 4 bald eagles just within eyesight, just flying.
So many more bald eagles
than people.
Then we have squirrels.
Yes. Yeah. It was insane. We did get a chance to see a bald eagle actually go out and catch that little salmon. That was
sick. A little salmon. I was like, little spanky poo.
And then we caught fish too. It was like triple up. Let's go. Everybody's catching out here. It's fantastic.
Everybody's
catching out here.
Go freaking book it. It's Sea Otter Lodge BC. What was
Sea Otter Lodge BC.ca.
Boom.
And also
.com.
.com. But also
I looked it up this morning.
Nobody talked about the sea otters. There's like a trillion sea otters out there and seals. And the sea otters are the freaking coolest thing in the world because they pop up out of the water and they stare at you and their hands are up. And they're
squirrels of the sea.
What's up? Yeah. There's more of those than squirrels that we have. That's guaranteed.
When you read that, so Kayak Angler Mag's going to do an article on this, which I highly recommend everybody looks for later in the year. I honestly, I grew up reading those, like in fishermen and stuff like that. Like that's what I grew up getting tips from, reading about. I wanted to learn how to catch catfish. That's where I was going to figure it out. And they always had these like, I was out in the boundary waters and it was just me and my friend and we had a canoe and, this insane stuff happened and we saw, and it was, the descriptions were incredible. And they always had these adventure stories and like the cool things they did. And I look back on that trip and I'm like, I did that. Like we actually did. I've actually done that. And it's going to be in the freaking magazine. Like that to me is like the super surreal. And for like what, $3,000 or whatever, like you could fly from anywhere and go do that in a kayak and have that same level of adventure. Like anyone can just go do it. And they're going to be able to do it the same way we did it and have the same type of experience. And all you got to do is buy hookup baits and then get yourself out there. That's
get
insane.
Out there.
It's insane. Like it's you can't really do. It's kind of like the photos. My explaining it to you will not do it justice. And it wasn't an adventure of a lifetime. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yep. I know the boat guys were using the flashers and stuff for catching salmon. And then last day, they're also biting salmon. They had 2 big hookups that got loose, and they actually brought a coho. Was it coho or spring?
Coho, yep.
Coho.
And then 2 Chinook broke off.
And they're big ones.
Yeah.
That's what
that would have been fun.
Austin was saying, hey, man, I was a freaking donkey.
You catch a halibut, that's an experience you'll never forget. You think a Cabezon is strong? Jesus.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I would love to go somewhere and target those.
But doing it in a kayak, like everyone's like, oh, catch the fish. I'm telling you, you reel in one of those like a 40-inch vampire that doesn't like you, and it's like you got to pull it into your lap. Like, what are we doing? It's crazy.
I want to do it.
Yeah,
I was invited to go out with Chad from Hookups and with Trevor. They just invited us. We just got to get out there.
I'm ready.
Well, heck yeah, let's definitely do that, because that scream and drag, like I don't get that on little baby bass on my lake right here. Like
I had a catch,
and
I'll probably never forget this. It was like right that last day, caught a big ling, grabbed it, had it like halfway up, and I didn't grab the net. I was just gonna grab it, and I saw how big it was, and I went to grab the net, and it was like nah, and just ran. And I'm watching the Ardito just go, and the drags, and I was like, oh, what's happening?
We don't get that here. Even a big bass is like not really gonna do that here.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Catfish is the only thing that runs anything close.
Yeah.
Well, salmon. A salmon will run like that. So I take it all back.
Yeah.
If you've ever caught a salmon in the Great Lakes, they run like that. They do. They're about that life. Other than that, Laker maybe, but a catfish, Laker, and a salmon are the only things that come anywhere close.
Yep. Yeah, pike don't even do that. Pike just turn sideways and they say, "Bring me."
They
in,
go
bud."
fast once, and then they go.
Like,
they pull a Cabezon. They're like, I'm not going anywhere. And then they just stop for like 3 seconds, and they're like, fine, I give up. And then they're like a walleye.
They just run out of breath.
Yeah, they give up. They're like, dang it, you got me.
What I love about the ling is you'd pull them up, and they do the head shake and stuff, but they wouldn't necessarily fight until you got like you had one chance to get them in your net.
Yep.
And once you got them in the net, they went freaking berserk.
Like, not a cage for me.
Splash everywhere. I can't see. Like, water's in my sunglasses. I can't see anything anymore. I got to like wipe off my GoPro cameras because they just go insane. If you don't get them on the hook set, they're diving. And if you don't have your drag set right, you're losing that fish. But it was a good time.
The ling shower was a thing.
The ling shower.
You got them in the net, and they would just go. And then, like, if you released them, they would give you that tail slap like at the water.
So good. The few that got away next time.
The few.
Well, if I had known the possession limit, not many would have gotten away. Maybe 10. Like,
so good.
Could have been eating them. Oh well.
Well, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button. Help give this a little bit of juice after it's all said and done on YouTube. And if you also, well, I'll do that at the end. All right, last question, Jeff and Paul. What is next for AAA? Any cool collabs or plans coming up?
It's in.
I'll see you guys in 3. Am I going to see you in 3 weeks?
3 weeks. We will be at ICAST.
Doing it again.
Time. Actually, so we do have a destination trip coming up on the front end of ICAST. We're going to go hang out with Sup Customs. So everybody here, go check out Sup Customs on Instagram. They have a banger channel. They make custom like stand-up paddle boards, but they're designed with like in a very specific way, where it's like a catamaran style and like very unique build. They put big motors on these things and they rip through the flats. So we're gonna go fish with them in Tampa, right, Paul? Yep. So Tampa Bay area, Florida. We're going to fish with them. We're staying with them for 2 days. We're gonna tour their factory as well, like where they're building these things. So we're gonna get a video of that, go fish with them. That'll be a video we put out. And then ICAST, we always put out at least, we just did this 5 or 6 videos. So we're gonna be hustling ICAST. That's like the very next big thing. And then like the potential thing after that is we're going to take the Newport NS130 inflatable with the brand new NT600, which is a 6 horsepower equivalent electric motor. We're going to take it on the Grand River and just go as far as we can go. Maybe the whole thing. I kind of doubt it. That'd be like another 7 days off of work.
It's 200. It's the longest river in the States, 252 miles, and there's probably 3 dozen portages on it.
We're going to need a lot of batteries. So, yeah.
You should do an Everglades trip.
I would love to do that.
Just run for like a week or 2 down like the Everglades. Stay on those little, there's a name for them. I forget what they are, but those little wooden raised pallets.
Yeah.
Through there. You see some sketchy stuff. Catch some random invasive fish and pythons and Everything else.
I want to catch
Arapaima would be
have
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And
we should bring hookup baits.
I'm gonna be fishing hookup baits everywhere.
Bro. I will absolutely do that. I'll catch a snook on a hookup. We could do that.
Done deal. That is a done deal. I will bring a track pack full of those, and then we'll go into stuff.
I've already packed. Look at that.
The Everglades trip it's been on my mind for years and years. Like
so is NorCal.
NorCal too. Yeah,
huge one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's that, and then we had talked about doing like striper in Maine. I really want to do that super bad.
We just need to be able to do this full time, and then
I just need more time off. Like I'm maxing my vacation already, and that's honestly that's the limiting factor, just time.
I mean, work's lame. We don't have to. We just quit our jobs.
Yeah,
that's it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Darren.
Trust me, it's on my
idea. Hemorrhage cash with Wendell fishing. We'll do it together.
It's on my to-do list.
Quit job. Got it.
It's dated.
It's below make a living, but I'll figure it out.
It's dated 3 years from now. Like we'll get there. Yeah.
My kids don't like to eat. Who needs food?
What is food?
Shelter,
I can go catch it all.
I
have hookup baits. I'll just catch all the things we need.
Yeah.
We're purely
I don't need to buy underwear and I don't need to buy food.
Nope.
So I think we're
Like,
actually
already
thanks
saving
hookup
on the
baits.
budget.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Budget.
Living the Chad life now.
Yeah.
Love it.
Chad life. I need instead of salt life, I need Chad life.
Chad life.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
a sticker
jeans.
I would get.
An X over a pair of underwear and like a hookup bait, and then like
it's just no
underwear.
I'm writing that down. I have Yak Attack as a t-shirt idea, Brains in Row, and now I'm writing down Chad life.
Do it. All right.
I love
Stay
it.
tuned. AI
know,
images coming soon.
Seth, what do you have going on? Coming up.
Well, since ICAST is coming down here to Florida like usual, but you guys are all coming to Florida for ICAST. I am not going to ICAST. You guys are. So I figured afterwards we can do another one of these videos where we all talk about all the cool stuff we did. And I can sit here and listen to it.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool.
My favorite part of ICAST is glad you asked.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
The part where I didn't go.
For me, I mean, fishing this summer is kind of chill on the tournament scene. Not really going to do any national Bassmaster right now. Already qualified for the national or the championship for Bassmaster next year. I have a state championship here in September on Okeechobee, so we'll knock that out. Try to win that bad boy. But yeah, it's kind of chill. We're moving between some jobs and different things, so we have this busy summer. But yeah, it's kind of chill this summer. Usually this is when I kind of perfect my scoping, my live scope out on the lakes and get some practicing with different baits and dial that all in. So
Nice.
That'll be here in July. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And then just obviously listening to how ICAST went for you guys. Really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can't wait to talk for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be really cool.
I
I met so many cool
comments.
people. There's so many cool new things.
Yeah, tell me
going
about
on.
them. Oh,
My life has
awesome.
changed.
Yeah.
I'd love to go again, Seth.
Yeah, that's
here. I
great
wish I could
connection.
begin with.
Yeah, I live very close to Tampa. So just saying.
Nice.
Just saying.
Just saying, everybody.
But I chase green fish around for the most part. I don't really have a whole lot of
Snook or green?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the different green fish I usually chase.
Come crash the party. Come hang out with Self
Sure.
Seth is holding down the fort. Thank you, 10K Sweaty Fishing.
Yeah.
That is exactly what he's doing. Well, Jeff and Paul, we were at hour and 34, and I so much appreciated hanging out with you guys this past week, getting to know you a little bit more. I learned about Paul's life story, not really, but learned about where he works. That was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, we'll get into that. That's a story for another day. So we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Jeff, thank you. Paul, thank you. Seth, thank you for enduring this whole thing, and thank you for holding down the fort Weird Way. But next week, we are live again, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. Thank you guys for listening in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya.